So James Charles is trending on Twitter again, and as we've learned on this channel, whenever a big creator is trending on Twitter, it's usually not for a good reason, and today is no exception. As serious allegations have came out against James Charles from the 15-year-old TikTok user Jake Cherry, who also happens to be 6'9". That is just insane to me. But regardless, he posted a now deleted TikTok exposing James Charles. It's basically a rapid fire of screenshot evidence with copyrighted music in the background. So instead of showing you a 10-second TikTok of rapid fire information, I'm just gonna pause at every relevant moment and read it out. It starts out with him saying, "I miss you, James," and then it shows a Snapchat message of James Charles in bed saying, "Aw, good night, cutie." Here's another one where he says, "That would be so cute." On the 29th of November in 2020, James wishes Jake a happy 15th birthday, and then in December he says, "What the fuck is your problem? Posting screenshots of my snaps to you on your private story? I strongly recommend that you keep my name out of your mouth, or we're going to have a major problem. I'd love to remind you that you were the one that called me cute, and said you were bisexual and into me." He responds, "Hold up." James responds, "Get a life and respect people's privacy." He responds, "We already talked about this." James responds, "That's a complete lie, you idiot. You are backpedaling because you got caught." Jake responds, "No bad intentions whatsoever." James responds, "Don't ever speak about me again. I added you and minded my own business until you called me cute and started flirting with me saying you were bi. People who can't respect privacy are the lowest of the low." Jake responds, "I completely understand that," to which James responds, "You clearly do not understand." Jake responds, "I never intended anything bad by posting that, and if anyone says you did do something wrong, I can assure you that you did not." James responds, "I know I didn't. You did by violating my privacy. Get your fucking friend in line before I do. Lying about your age to bait someone is against the law, by the way." Jake responds, "I didn't delete anything." "And which messages?" James responds, "The messages of you admitting you lied about your age. I saved them, and they're gone." Jake responds, "I don't know, but I can promise you I didn't delete anything, lol." And then the TikTok ends with him showing proof that this is from James Charles' Snapchat account. About 14 hours after the initial allegations came out, Jake updated us that he had to delete the video by saying, "Parents made me take it down because they apparently got contacted by the police. Everything in the video is 100% real." Now let's take a look at how Twitter reacted to this. This first started to surface on Twitter when Def Noodles tweeted out the TikTok with the caption, "Who could have seen that coming?" James Charles exposed for allegedly messaging 15-year-old. When James Charles notices that the boy shared one of their messages on his story, James snaps, accusing the boy of lying about his age, then blocks him. Boy alleges he never lied about his age. Ethan Klein quote tweets him and says, "James Charles caught with yet another 15-year-old boy. I swear to God, y'all, this is getting fucking ridiculous. Call out anyone that associates with this man. I am losing my mind." Speaking of which, I did that in my last video. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend doing so. Regardless, he continues by saying, "James Charles is a predator. Just trying to get his name trending, y'all. Let's go!" Trisha quote tweets Ethan Klein and says, "The fact that this is happening again and again, and again, like fresh, new, now. This man is a current dangerous threat. James Charles is a straight up pedophile. That's not slander, but a fact. Repeated behavior still fucking happening. What the fuck?" The way James talked to him after too, threatening him, being aggressive, putting blame on a 15-year-old child for their interaction. Disgusting. I'll say without a shadow of a doubt, James Charles is the only creator that deserves to be banned and stripped from all social platforms. He's abusing it by sexting with minors! Repeated behavior happening as recent as a few days ago. This is an actual predator/pedophile. James Charles deserves prison. I really hope one of these parents press charges. It's so nauseating. I'm physically nauseous. And he's so cocky about getting away with it all. Keemstar tweets out, "If you prey on your underage fans, you are a predator." Since a few people in this community had a hard time calling James Charles a predator, thought I would spell it out for you. He then makes a Twitter video titled, "James Charles Rant."
Listen, I'm going to say a lot of stuff here that I've already said, but you need to hear it again. And I want retweets and I want likes, and not because I want fucking clout, it's because I want something fucking done. If famous person like James Charles hits up fanboy, underage kid and gives them attention and is interested in them sexually, kid is going to lie about their age. Of course they're going to lie about their age, all right? So regardless, if all these kids are lying about their age, or if James actually knows the age, all right, it doesn't matter. When you have the power dynamic, which a lot of people have a problem with, I get it, but it's true. When you have a power dynamic of a fucking super famous person showing interest to a fan, the fan is going to lie and do whatever they can to keep that conversation going with their hero, all right? This is fucking grooming, all right? Can we please just call it what it fucking is? In this new case, James is saying to the 15-year-old, happy birthday. On his TikTok, he's got TikTok saying he's 15 years old. Enough is enough. How many times does this need to happen? Okay? We all need to be on the same page here, all right? We don't like cancel culture. We think cancel culture is ridiculous. However, when it's a situation where kids are in danger of being groomed and being taken advantage of like this, that's when cancel culture is good. Someone needs to be canceled and pushed out because they're a danger to the fucking kids. I don't care if every kid lied to James Charles. I don't care. James Charles is the adult. The kid is a kid, all right? James Charles has the responsibility to know these people's ages. And in all these cases, with a simple check, us online that have nothing to do with the situation, we can find the ages of the people. It's publicly, it's out there. But James can't. No excuses. He's done. Get him out, get him out, get him out. He's done. Make the fucker trend. Make him trend, get him out. Get him out.
Keemstar then continues tweeting about the situation. He says, just did a speedrun on how fast I could find James Charles' new victim's real age. Took me 2 seconds and 31 milliseconds. But James can't find the real age of the kids he's texting? James Charles. He lied about his age, said he was 18. You know who tried to expose James Charles but nobody listened because they wrote it off like he was trying to take out his competition? Jeffree Star. Ready to Glare tweets out, interesting that neither James Charles or those around him are addressing anything. Real fast when it comes to dropping people for much less, but actual serious accusations involving minors? Silence. Kate Tenbarge tweets out, the alleged James Charles interactions with minors show a pattern of James Charles getting aggressive plus claiming that the minor lied about their age once screenshots leak. It's an increasingly worrisome use of his power dynamic. He shouldn't be privately messaging young fans at all. Blake says, grooming. James Charles has been caught sending inappropriate messages to yet another minor. Please call him out. It's not just a coincidence at this point. This is the 6th time. Whatever excuse he has this time isn't enough. He shouldn't be taking advantage of his fans. Chris Kelman says, ugh, my dog needs a haircut. Could use some good recommendations, since Google is of no help. Showing that he typed in best groomers in Los Angeles, and the result was James Charles. Pepe says, James Charles. He said he was 18, the child in question, showing a fetus. Nicholas Diorio says, I still feel like showing restraint and playing the long game with the James Charles story is going to pay off. It might be profitable to exaggerate everything current, however, the content lottery of this turning back around is enough for me to continue screenshotting reactionaries. At worst, it turns out James is just as bad as people say, and at best, every journalist slash massive drama YouTuber looks like an idiot for calling him a predator targeting children. Either way, it doesn't affect my life. Not enough info to make an appropriate judgment call. I don't know what the new James Charles situation is supposed to tell us that others haven't. I see loads of people saying, another one? He needs to be held accountable. Laughing my fucking ass off. We were done letting him get away with it after the 3rd one. How surprised can I be that James wasn't careful with who he was talking to in December? When this isn't even the most recent case he supposedly got catfished, is it? Lol. To say someone is preying on children requires intent, which we still don't have concise evidence of. Can someone please compile everything with screenshots into a document so normal adults can comprehend what James has been accused of? I'm not doing TikToks, lol. My initial look at the situation is that James wished him a happy birthday on November 29th, 2020, and the kid put James in his story in December. We don't have a date on the snaps the kid posted. If they were pre-November 29th, this means nothing. If it's post, that looks like something. Xander Hall responds to Nicholas Diorio's previous tweet by saying, just wait for the Boblax video like I do. Nicholas replies, we are actually in the Boblax video right now. Kat tweets out, isn't James Charles generous? When kids in high school don't have the money to fly out to LA to date him, he offers to pay for their flight.
Talk to guys that live in different states and stuff, and I'm like, hey, like, why don't you come visit? And like, well, I can't afford a plane ticket. Yep. And it's like, okay, well, I can. So like, get on the plane. And like, well, I just don't really feel comfortable with that. But like, I love you and I really want to be together. And I'm like, well, we can't be together because you can't afford a plane ticket. You're probably still in either high school or college, like a senior in high school or in college.
Right.
So like, either you accept the flight and realize that like, this is what I'm bringing to the relationship so we can spend time together if you actually care about me.
Yep.
Or we literally never meet because you can't afford it.
That's right.
Dustin Daly reacts to the clip by saying, holy fuck, he tripped up. Nick Schneider responds to it by saying, yikes. T-Spill responds with eye emojis, and then makes a tweet of her own that says, "The thing I don't understand about the James Charles situation is how a 21-year-old finds that attractive? That boy looks like he's about to go off and start his first day of high school, at best to me." Forrest tweets out, "James Charles, they lied to me about their age," the minor in question. Kavos tweets out, "James Charles is long overdue a visit. Horny police." David says, "Just thought I would share these tweets from yesterday on James Charles. They made me roll over laughing." He then shows James Charles responding to Lil Nas saying, "Love you, Nas." To which Dak responds, "I think he's too old for your liking." Cherry Lips tweets out, "James Charles is trending, so it can only be for one reason." Atop says, "James Charles texting his 40th minor of the year." Lala says, "I'm confused on why James Charles have a platform when he has been accused on various occasions on preying on underage straight boys. Yet y'all still have not crucified him in the same way y'all would do if he had been a black influencer." Queen Fantasia says, "Maybe if James Charles didn't go for boys who literally look prepubescent, then he wouldn't get into so much bother, silly sister." Here for the T says, "James Charles is in a position of power, and he should not be using his fan base as a personal dating pool. In fact, he shouldn't be messaging them at all, because he obviously has trouble keeping his dick in his pants." To influencers who support James, is there something we don't know here? Am I missing something? Why are y'all so damn quiet? Remember, these are the instances that have been made public. Imagine how many have gone unreported. I don't think people understand. Why is James Charles even adding a 15-year-old to Snapchat? It took me 2 seconds to find multiple TikToks and Reels where his age is indicated. And that's about it for the tweets against James Charles so far. This situation just happened today, and James Charles has yet to respond to this, so I'm sure a sequel video to this will be out relatively soon. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. If you liked the video, don't forget to help me out by pressing like, and thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel. In particular, Scrubby, who decided to donate $100 a month. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, dude. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.